Ayunitai Gaura Radheshyam Japo Hare Krishna Hare Ram. Jai Radharaman, Jai Nitai, Jai Gaur, Jai Sri Radheshyam. Life of love. Second visit to Calcutta. Initiation of Dinabandhu, Kavyatirtha, Vedantaratna. We have said before that Dinabandhu Das had gone to Puri to persuade his brother and two others, who had taken Vaishnav sannyas from Babaji Mahasai, to give up sannyas and go back with him to Calcutta, but had returned satisfied that they had taken shelter under a Mahapurush, the like of whom he had never seen. One evening he came again to meet Baba Mahasai, who was then sitting outside in the garden. Baba Mahasai was happy to see him. He welcomed him with unusual warmth and love and asked him what had brought him there. He replied that he was going to some other place where he was to deliver a lecture, but he did not know how he was suddenly drawn to him. What seemed to worry him at that time was the consent and the necessity of the Guru. So he asked a number of questions. He said, the Shastras declare that Bhagavan and the Guru are the same. If Bhagavan is the Guru, what is the necessity of having another Guru? Babaji Mahasai, Sri Radharaman, replied, the necessity is obvious. From your birth, you depend on the Guru, who comes to you in some form or other to guide and help you. At the time of your birth, he appears in the form of the mother, who teaches you how to suck her breast. When you grow old, the Guru in the form of your parents and elders teaches you many things which are necessary for your well-being. The guidance of the Guru is necessary every moment of our life and in whatever we do. Dinabandhu asked many other questions regarding the necessity and the qualification of a mantra guru. Baba Mahasai answered them to his satisfaction. When all his doubts were removed, he became impatient to receive the mantra from Baba Mahasai. As we have said before, it was not so much the argument of Baba Mahasai that convinced the people of the truth, as his powerful personality, which was the very embodiment of truth. Slightest contact with him made all doubt and misconception regarding the nature of truth, which obstruct their vision, vanish automatically, just as darkness vanishes automatically with the slightest appearance of the rays of the rising sun. The greatest obstacle in the realization of truth is self-conceit. The vision of Dinabandhu thus was blurred because of his pride of learning and probably the pride of Brahminhood. His contact with the Baba Mahasai in Puri had already humbled him to a great extent. If any trace of consent had remained, that also was now gone. Self-purification had given rise to self-mortification, and he had begun to feel that he had only wasted his time in scholarly pursuits. Nothing would now give peace to his mind except total surrender at the feet of Baba Mahasai. In the evening, when he was attending the kirtan going on in the hall, he happened to see the picture of Panchatattva, the five divines, whose hearts are always filled with the mercy of the fallen souls, and he began to sing song praying for their mercy in the form of the Guru. He sang and danced and wept like a child, and singing fell unconscious on the ground. Baba Mahasai, who was watching him from a distance, came and put his hand upon his chest. His touch made him conscious. He clasped Baba's feet with both of his hands and began to weep and say, Gurudev, have mercy on me. Baba Mahasai tried to calm him by giving a loving embrace, but he continued to cry and say, Gurudev, have mercy on me. Give me mantra in my ear. I am sold out to you. From today I am yours. You do with me what you like. Baba Mahasai was moved. He hugged him again and uttered the mantra in his ear. Each letter of the mantra caused tremor and horripilation in his body. Streams of tears began to flow from his eyes and drench his cheek and chest. As soon as the mantra was complete, Baba Mahasai left him and he fell unconscious on the ground. Still and motionless like a doll, Babaji Mahasai was also overpowered by Vav. Navadvip Das and others took him outside in the veranda. Some people remained inside the hall and chant Harinam near Dinabandhu. Others began to chant near Baba Mahasai. The intensity of Sattvika Bhavas that appeared on his body surprised everyone. Tremor was so intense that no one could hold his body and keep it still. Even the teeth trembled so vigorously that it appears they will fall. Horripilation was so intense that his whole body appeared like shimul, silk cotton tree. With eyes closed and throat choked with emotion, he uttered the word Gopi for about 5 minutes and then began to say, I am Gopi, I am Gopi. Tremor did not stop till late at night. Lalita Dasi became anxious. She wept and said to Navadvip Das, Dada, you must somehow stop his tremor. If it lasts longer, I am afraid all his teeth will fall out. Navadvip Das closed his eyes and meditated for some time. Then he touched Baba Mahasai's back with his right hand. He touched, made him conscious. He said, Jai Nitai, Jai Nitai, and began to look all round in a manner which indicated that he was transported to a different place from where he had been. Navadvip Das then went to the hall where Dinabandhu Das was still lying unconscious. Namakirtan was going on around him, but his body was still motionless. Navadvip Das sent for Baba Mahasai. As soon as Baba Mahasai came, he held his right foot and planted it over the chest of Dinabandhu Das. There was some motion in Dinabandhu's body and tears started flowing from his eyes. He caught hold of Baba's foot and began to adjure and supplicate in deep emotion. Baba Mahasai embraced him lovingly to assuage him. Another day, when Baba Mahasai was strolling in the garden, he said to Lalita Dasi, Dinabandhu is a quandary. He thinks that the Gaura mantra he has received is grammatically incorrect and wants to correct it. What a pity. He does not know that the mantra and Bhagavan are one and therefore the mantra is beyond understanding and cannot be subjected to manipulation by human intelligence. May God bless him. A little later, Dinabandhu Das arrived. He made obeisance to Baba Mahasai. Baba Mahasai lifted and embraced him. They sat down and talked on different subjects. After some time, Lalita Das requested them to sit together for Mahaprasad in Baba Mahasai's room. She took Dinabandhu to his room and made him to sit on an asana. Baba Mahasai was yet to arrive. In the meantime, Dinabandhu said to Lalita Dasi, Is there some grammatical mistake in the Gaura mantra? Lalita Dasi smiled and said, I do not know, but I hear that Gaura mantra was given to Baba Mahasai in a dream by Nityananda Prabhu. Only 4 or 5 minutes before you came, Baba Mahasai was telling me Dinabandhu thinks that there is a grammatical mistake in Gaura mantra and is anxious about its correction. Just then, Baba Mahasai came. Dinabandhu did not say anything to him about the mantra. He took Mahaprasad with him and went home. After 4 or 5 days, he came again. This time he looked a different person. His face was flushed. Eyes swam in tears and his dress was awkward. He lay prostrate before Baba Mahasai as he saw him from a distance. As Baba Mahasai went forward and extended his hands to lift him, he began to weep aloud like a child and say, "I am a big hypocrite, an offender, and so full of conceit on account of a little learning that I did not hesitate even to find fault in God in the shape of the mantra. Kindly have mercy on me. I have been adequately punished for the offense I commit. If you want to give me some more punishment, kindly let me know. I shall gladly submit." Babaji, why? What had happened? Let me know. Dinabandhu, Prabhu, there is nothing that you do not know. Still, if you want, I shall narrate everything. The moment I was initiated, I became skeptical about the Gaura mantra. The little knowledge I have of Sanskrit made me think that it was grammatically incorrect. At the time of doing japa, the idea of incorrectness of the mantra always haunted my mind. Yesterday night, when I slept, the same idea disturbed me. At 4 o'clock in the morning, you came to me. You looked at me angrily, groaned and growled, and gave me a slap on my cheek, saying, "Foolish fellow! You have read 2 pages of Sanskrit grammar and have become so conceited that you have the courage to find fault with the mantra that came out of the mouth of Nityananda himself. You do not know what that Kalap, Kaumudi, Muktabodh, and other books of Sanskrit grammar that are now current are all imperfect. Only Panini is perfect. In the Veda section of the second part of Panini, the usage which you think is incorrect have been made at several places and justified. But even if it were not justified, you should know that the name, the mantra, and the Lord are self-evident and beyond the jurisdiction of the Shastras or the application of the rules of grammar. Thus, you kindly punish me and remove my ignorance. Even now, you can see the sign of punishment upon my cheek." With this, he fell at the feet of Baba Mahasai and began to weep. All those who were present were surprised to hear what Dinabandhu said and to see the sign of the slap on his cheek. Baba Mahasai got tears in his eyes and with throat choke, with emotion, said, "Pandit, you are blessed. Nityananda showered mercy upon you. He came to you in my form and removed your doubt. Be grateful to him, not me. Remember him and hallow him and his name." Dinabandhu said, "Gurudev, you may say what you like, but I know that you are my savior and benefactor and no one else. I have traveled in many countries and met many saints, but I found none so kind and so loving as you, who will unstintingly shower mercy upon anyone despite all his faults and weaknesses. If I had not found a guru like you, I would have remained a beast that I was, and my deliverance would have been impossible. Now kindly advise how I should conduct myself so that I make progress on the path you have set me on." Baba Mahasai said, "Baba, man lives by faith. Even in our ordinary life, we depend more on faith than on reason. If we did not do so, life would be impossible. In matters relating to God and His Lila, faith must have a much more prominent role. because our limited understanding cannot delve in matters that are transcendental. So you must have faith in the Shastras, the mantras, and the words of the seers who have realized the truth if you want to make any progress. You must plunge if you want to swim. You cannot swim before plunging. Jai Radharaman, Jai Sri Radheshyam, Jai Radharaman, Jai Nitai, Jai Gaur, Jai Sri Radheshyam, Japo Nitai Gaur, Radheshyam, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Bhajo Nitai Gaur, Radheshyam, Japo Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Bhajo Nitai Gaur, Radheshyam, Japo Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. We will meet tomorrow with the second visit to Calcutta at the house of Jugendranath Mitra in Darjiparha. We will read it tomorrow or later. It depends. Happy Ekadasi to you all. Vajani Taigo Radheshyam Japore Krishna Hare Ram.